Just listen. I'm in Luke 24th chapter, verse 32, talking about those disciples. And they said one to another, did not our heart burn within us when he was talking to us on the way? Wow. While Jesus was talking, the words, the heart burned. On the day of Pentecost, they say, did not our heart prick? Somebody just cut you. Let this service be the one when you have a spiritual heartburn that you get on fire. And the Bible says, and they went and told everybody, he is alive. The reason you're not saying he is alive, because you don't have a heartburn. That will preach. You don't have a spiritual heartburn. You know what it is? Like Brother Michael was talking Wednesday night. Cold. Lukewarm. Let this message put a fire in your heart. That you catch on fire and have a spiritual heartburn. Look, the 9th chapter, 57 following. And it came to pass, as they went in the way, a certain man, and Matthew 8:19 say, a scribe, the one who was writing down the scripture, said to Jesus, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. We don't talk like that. You know what we say? Don't matter where you go, army is going with you. And Jesus said unto him, foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. And he said unto another, follow me. And he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Just like that first fellow said, I want to follow you, but I got to do something before I do that. Let me go first, bury my father. Jesus said unto him, let the dead bury their dead. But go thou and preach the kingdom of God. Another one said, Lord, I will follow thee. And do you understand the word L-O-R-D, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D? They were not supposed to be even using that word. Jehovah, the holy name, the sovereign name. He said, I will follow thee. Let me go first. There you go again. Beat them farewell which are at home at my house. Jesus said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow, looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God. Go ahead and have your seats. We are talking about the discipleships. For those of you who have not heard the last 3-4 messages, you may go on a YouTube and find it, figure it out how to hear it. So today, get your paper out. Let's go. Who can be his disciple? See, I'm trying to be very positive. I could have easily said who cannot be. But since you are here, you want to be. Luke 9:23, Jesus said, if any of you wants to be, it tells me right away that following Jesus is a choice. He will not make you do anything. He's a sovereign God, but sovereign God has given you a free will. If any of you want to be my follower, question is this: do you want to be his follower? If you don't, There's nothing he can do. And listen to the conditions he is making. And people don't want to hear this message. This is not my word. This is words of Jesus. He said that if you want to, you don't come with your condition and tell him when you're going to follow him or how you're going to follow him. So that's why before you open your mouth and tell him anything, he said, look here, you better sit down and count the cost. We will talk about those things later on. Sit down and count the cost. Are you really serious that you want to follow me? These are the conditions if you want to follow me. And don't ask God and tell him, this is America and this is 21st century and you know we got to do this and do this. So please give me a loophole. There is no loophole. As a matter of fact, we will study this later on. There was even a lawyer who came and say, what should I do? And Jesus set him straight. So here we go. Do you want to be his disciple? Do you want to be his follower? You must. Say must. It is not optional. Take it or leave it. Or in your case, since you're so special, I will change my rule. Give up your own way. Number 2, take up your cross daily. And number 3, follow me. There are too many folks say, I am following Jesus, but they ain't carrying no cross. And they ain't giving up their ways. Jesus said, you must deny yourself. That's another translation in King James. The one I read was New Living Translation. You must deny yourself. John the Baptist said, I must decrease. Hold up, let me drink some water. How many of you want to have water now? John the Baptist said, let me decrease, but let him increase. But you know what we say? Let me blow up first. Let me be large. And then I will follow you. Paul said, I am dead, but he makes me alive. Then I will follow him. In order to follow him, you must die. You must kill that selfie. Then follow him. In other words, say no to what I want and yes to what he wants. But you never stop and ask him what he wants. You tell him what you want. Oh, I prayed this morning for 45 minutes, and 44 minutes you gave him your laundry list. I need this, I want this thing, and say, whoo, man, I prayed for 45 minutes. No, you told him what you want. And then, amen. And didn't wait to see what he wants. You need to get your notebook, your prayer request on one page, on the other one, what he said. Do what he said first, then your prayer request. Next one, Jesus is Lord, and I am his slave. I'm the servant. Remember, there was one time Jesus said that when a servant comes from the field, the master says, I know you is tired, but you know what? Go wash your hands and fix me my food and bring me my food, then you eat. But what do we say? Jesus, hook me up. Let me ask you a question. You don't go tell your boss tomorrow what you're going to do you? I don't do this, boss. I take the policy says I can have a 30 minutes break. But you know what? I'm going to take a 1 hour break. You know, you clock out at 4 o'clock, but you know what? After I eat, I want to take a nap, so I might as well go on home. You won't have a job. You won't have a job. So how do we treat God like that? And tell him what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. I ain't going to give you. By the way, somebody was asking me this last week sometime. Why don't I talk about the first fruit you hear on TV? So much. Give your first fruit. Give your first check. I don't do that. You know why? It's all your money. Nobody's helping me today. It's your money. All I am saying in this church, we don't hustle your money. It is your money and you pray. Put God first in your money. That's all we are teaching. I'm not saying if you don't tithe, you're going to hell. I'm not teaching that. But I tell you one, you will have a hell of a time living here. Oh, you didn't get that. Okay, let's break down. We already broke down number one guy. Now, he was the one, he followed Jesus. He came without Jesus asking him. He volunteered. So how many times we get excited, somebody volunteer, oh, pastor, I'm going to do this. And they do it just to be seen. Because if you do volunteer, let me tell you something, you got to give your best shot. Do it as if it is your own house. As a matter of fact, you have to do better because this is the house of the Lord. So Jesus, I want to follow you. So what kind of answer Jesus is saying? Jesus should say, yeah, I got somebody volunteering without me asking. Jesus don't say nothing. He don't pat on his back. Don't give him a gold medal. And that's what we do in a church. Oh, we're so glad they came here. Huh? Jesus said, because he knew what was in his heart. You know what? You can hide from everybody. You cannot hide from God. You can't. Jesus said, he knew in his heart, he said, the reason you want to follow me, because you're looking for comfort. You're looking for comfort. You follow, and we preachers, we help people like preaching like that. Or you follow Jesus and God will give you a new house. I tell, you follow Jesus, you'll be still staying in the house. And as you stay faithful, down the line, you will come out. He was looking for comfort. My question is this, are you looking for a comfort to follow Jesus? You want a new house, new car, new clothes? And hear me what I said last week. Some of you were not here. This is what we do. We buy a new car because we want to have a new car. We want everybody to know you are a man and a woman of faith, so you go buy a new car. Now, mind you, you don't give nothing to the church. And then you sign a contract with the bank for not 36 months. You sign a contract for 65 years. And some of us are so wise, 72. That new car will be jacked in 6 years. And you're still paying what you was paying the first payment. And here we go. So for 6 years, what you do, you say, God, you know what? You know my heart. You know me. I want to give you, Lord, but I ain't get nothing. So you take God's money and buy a new car and turn on God and ask him, bless me. As if he's ignorant. And then you have to have a new house. So you buy a new house and get tied up for 30 years. What is wrong with you all? Are so quiet today? Oh, I'm smart. I took financial classes, so I don't get tied up for 30. I did it for 15 years. So what you do, because you wanted a new house, you build a new house, and God is on hold for 15 years. God is on hold for 15 years for your new car and new house. And then you say, God, what about blessing me? And before somebody get out of bound, me and Sister Lee, we built a house, a new house. And I'm about to, I could have paid it off this December, but I was advised not to do it. But it'll be paid off pretty soon. So there's nothing wrong. But before you start rolling your eyes at me, we built a house, but we gave almost 20%. Like Brother Gary said, you have examples in the front of you. We lived in a ghetto. I'm not ashamed. We lived at a Sandy Park on 65th West Avenue. We lived there. We lived in a rented house on a North Frankfurt, 4119 North Frankfurt Place. We lived there. But we built a house. But you know what? We never put God on a hold and say, God, we cannot. We put God first. And that's what all it means. Seek ye first. Is God against you having a new house? No, he said, when you cross over Jordan, I will give you houses. Didn't say house. But remember, it is I. And don't forget me. What we do, we forget God and go on by our business. How many of you got your W-2? Not W-2, what you all give out? Oh, the tax statement this year. Some of you scared to pick it up from the office, aren't you all? Do me a favor, get your W-2 and get your statement from the church or any other ministry that you support. I don't say support only me. I'd be crazy. Because me and my wife support everybody, others too. Put it together and see what percentage you give. Would you do that? And then make a new habit. I didn't say be a disciple. Look, my friend, life will be tough, but God will help you through. If you be faithful. All right, that guy is out. Let's go with number 2. So that guy volunteered, but this guy, Jesus chose. Come here, man, you follow me. This man said, I will, but permit me first to go and bury my father. Look here. He did not say, my father is dead. He don't know how old was Pops. And the way life is now, Pops live longer than the guys do. He doesn't say, my dad is dead. Because if the boy had lost his father, he wouldn't be there. Because in culture of the Jews, you have to bury the body in 8 hours. So he should be there. So what he's saying, Jesus, I'm glad. Oh, I'm so honored. The creator of heaven and earth is asking me to follow you, God. Jesus, I'm happy. I'm so glad. But look here, I got to do this. Let me buy some time. When my daddy dies, don't know how long, and that's not what I'm thinking about. In other words, he's saying, you know what? When my daddy dies, I will get the double portion if he's the firstborn. Meaning, look here, Jesus, I know you want me to follow. You invited me to follow you. But you know what? Hold on. So some of us, we put God on hold and say, you know what? Let me get my finances together. One of these days, I'm going to hit that $4 million lottery. Or let me go down. Oh, some of you so smooth, you don't go on a 36th Street North. Some of you don't even go on a Hard Rock. Some of you go to a Kmogi within driving distance. And that's how you do it. That's how you put God on a hold. It's a look here, God, I know you want me. I'm excited. I'm so glad. But you know what? Let me get my stuff together. Then I will follow you. Let me tell you something. You will never get your stuff together because you're never going to hit a lottery. You know why? You shouldn't be playing lottery in the first place. So one guy in the jail, a smart guy, was asking me, Pastor, what happens if one of your members win a $400 million lottery and bring you a tithe? I said, do you think I'm stupid? It's just money. I will tell the fool, don't play. So don't go over here and say, Pastor Stephen gave us permission to go play lottery. I didn't do that. No, don't do that. You know why? It's a carrot. And you take your hard-earned money, take from your wife, take from your children, take from the church, take from the Lord, and go waste it over there. Don't do that. Okay, my last one, then we go home. Now, the third one. Now, that's where I want to hammer it today. Then we go. Another volunteer came. Jesus, I want to follow you, but first, underline the word first. Both of them say first. First, let me do this. First, let me do this. And Jesus say, first, put me first. We don't do that. The other guy say, but first, let me go home and say goodbye to my... What is wrong with saying goodbye to your mama and your daddy? Hello? Would anybody say anything wrong in going and say bye to your mama and daddy? Any volunteers? You've been smart over these 24 years. When to hold it and when to let it go. So now, Jesus should have answered, Listen to me. Let's just play along. Let's just play with me. So Henry comes and says, Pastor, you know what? I want to follow you, and but let me say goodbye to my mom and dad and my family and all that. I have one choice. Look here, dude. Go say bye. Then come back. I will wait for you. Or don't do it. So Jesus don't say none of this. Don't fool with Jesus. You ask him a question, he's going to ask you a question. So Jesus didn't say, go say bye or don't say bye. He said, the one who puts his hand on a plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom. What it has to do with me saying bye? How many of you have read this scripture and haven't made heads or tails? What it had to do with me saying goodbye to my mom and dad and my kids? Nothing. So why did Jesus say that? Why did Jesus say that? Next week we will probably talk about this. Matthew 10:37. If you love your father, mother, son, daughter more than me, you cannot be my disciple. We will break it down next week on that. But here, he says, do not look back, putting your hand on the plow. Okay. You know, you all sing this song. Somebody start singing it out. I have decided to follow Jesus. Some of us are so smart, they ain't going to even sing. Because you know I'm going to come back. You already know I'm going to come and get you. See, this is my biggest problem. We come to church and we lift our hand and sing whatever we want to and feel good, but don't mean a thing. We sing this. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. This is what Jesus is saying. Look here. If you put your hand on the plow and look back, you're not. Okay, so like I have said, you don't have to know Greek or Hebrew. If you want to, that's cool. Isn't that something? Oh, in the Greek it says this, in the Hebrew it says that, and they tell you in English. Why don't you just tell me in English and be done with it? Trying to impress me, you know Hebrew and Greek. Okay, let's close with this. Go home and study this week. 2 Kings 19 to 21. Let us play with that. You remember, 2 Kings 19. It's in your notes. The last one. You remember, Elijah, the awesome prophet, was scared, hiding. And the Lord spoke to him. I said, I want you to do this. I want you to anoint him as a king. I want you to anoint him as a king. And then I want you to anoint Elisha in your place. My first question is this. If God was to tell me, Stephen, you done. Now go pour oil on this one. He'll be the next pastor. Would I do that? I will. As a matter of fact, I wanted to, but somebody got scared and left. Don't try to figure it out. Who was the one who left? Yeah, somebody got scared and left. So what am I supposed to do? Keep on plowing until Lord speaks. So don't pray, Lord, let me speak about me. Girl, you'll be amazed what people pray. I remember when Pastor Vanessa died, the next day, Lily is my witness. One woman came to see me. And she said, oh, I should have brought my ministerial credential. Vanessa, we had not even given her to the Lord in the ground yet. And she walked in my office. I wish I would have brought my credential. I say, I'm very nice. Jehovah, I know I'm saved. Don't try to figure it out who it was. I wonder who it was. Don't worry about it. So I told her, as a sweetheart, it is like this. I ain't looking for nobody to replace Pastor Vanessa. Now you may go. I had not invented the word gown at that time. But you'll be amazed. They just walk in your office. The Lord told me. Either you're stupid or you're ignorant. If God is going to speak, he's going to speak to me first. He ain't going to tell you. Go tell him. Wow. Pastor, you so arrogant. No, I ain't arrogant. I know God and how he works. He don't fool with the fool. He don't fool with a rebellious fool. He don't fool with the arrogant fool. You can stop me anytime you get ready. Now watch it. So he said, go anoint Elisha. He goes over there. Just looking here and there. Looking there. And then he just threw his coat. Oh, you ain't going. Brother smart. Look here, I got to go eat. You all leave me alone. So he threw his coat on him. And Elijah left. Then he ran after him. He said, look, I know what it means. I know you are a prophet. When you threw your mantle, that means I am the next one. But can I go say goodbye to my mom and my dad and my friends? And Elijah said, do what you got to do, but think about what I just told you, and he took off. So that man sat there and thought. He said, wow, this is a calling of God, and I cannot mess with God. Forget the family. He chopped the yokes. Whoever was with him, he said, you all eat, I'm gone. And he took off. Meaning what? Listen to me. We work on that next week. Calling of God is more important than your mama and your daddy. Calling of God is more important than your son or your daughter. You got to put God first. But if you say, God, I know I'm called, but you hold on. Let me get my family together. It's a crazy family. You can never put it together. Only God can put it together. When you put God first, God will put your crazy family together. And here you are. Never put God on a hold. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. Out of 6-7 billion people, God chose you. And you're going to play a game with him? I love my mama. I love my daddy. I love my. And you going to disobey God for your mama? Mama here, mama gone. Daddy here, daddy gone. I got 3 minutes. When my mama died, I was not there because they buried her in 8 hours. My daddy died. I wasn't there because they buried him 8 hours. My best buddy died. I wasn't there. They buried him 8 hours. But you know what? What did he say to the second man? Let the dead. What does it mean? See, some of you don't even know. You say that all day long, don't even know what it means. Let the spiritually dead bury the physically dead. But those who are spiritually alive, catch the dead and let me make them alive. That's what it means. Question is this. Would you be the disciple this year? But you got excuses. Dr. McCutcheon says, when you don't want to do anything, any excuse will suffice. What is your excuse not to come and be a follower? I didn't say come to church, but followers do come. I didn't say give, followers do give. That's why the world is not scared of us. We're complaining how dark is the darkness out there. You know why? Because Christians, they have blown our lights out. I'm going to close. If any man, any woman wants to be my follower, let him deny himself, pick up his cross daily, and follow me. Every head bowed, every eye closed. Like I said in the beginning, I prayed yesterday, all day Friday, God, burn our hearts this Sunday. Prick our hearts with the word of God. Challenge us, oh God. We cannot continue to live the way we are living and expect. We have dreams. But let me tell you something, sweetheart. Dreams will come quickly with the help of God than yourself. God can do in 5 minutes, you cannot do it in 50 years. God can get you out of debt quicker than you working 3 jobs and missing God on every side. I'm asking you as a father in the Lord, as a pastor, as a man of God who loves you more than anything else, let me ask you, would you put God first?